Okay, so the question is, how do I get my crypto into my bank account? I want to pay bills. I want to do some online purchasing. What's the simplest way to do that? Now, I have been using a platform called Spritz Finance for over a year now. This is going to be an updated video on their current features because they have added some new things to play and now offering to 3 new countries from when they first launched. And I want to cover the pros and the cons, okay, and maybe give some comparison. So if you guys are looking for a way for even on-ramping, okay, so on-ramping, buying crypto or getting your crypto and transferring it, switching it, converting it into fiat, I think you're really gonna like Spritz Finance. And if this is your first introduction, you've never heard of Spritz Finance before, but you want to get started, everything will be in the description. Okay, so my link to join, I'll have some reference guides or a reference link for their fee structure in the description, and an updated guide on navigating through this if you're just not familiar at all with crypto and connecting wallets and things like that. That will be in the description, but I would appreciate if you guys do use my link if you haven't yet signed up. But let's go ahead and get into this review, showing you guys the this is the back office view. Okay, oh, now here's the thing. This is I'm on a website or a desktop, but they do have an app. Okay, they have it on Google Play and on the App Store, so you guys can view that here. I like to use the desktop mainly just because there's some information that I can see more on the desktop version. But let's talk about the comparison here. Okay, so why would you use Spritz Finance? If you have a Coinbase account, you've got Binance or another centralized exchange, okay, why would I prefer to use Spritz over them? Now, the first thing I'll say is the simpleness of this is superior. Okay, when you first create your account, there's going to be a light KYC. They're going to ask for some form of ID, which ID and passport, those are the main 2. I think they have some other ones that you can use though, but that's it. Okay, so you give them your ID, you might give them some other information, your birthday or whatever, but because these guys are involved in the banking system, the banks are involved, they need to have money laundering practices in place. You're going to find that across the board. Okay, so if you're very anti ID giving, sorry, this isn't for you. You're going to have to find some sketchy back alleyway approach to do what you want to do. Okay, but very light KYC. Once I'm approved, boom, I have access here from what you can see. Now, if you're in the US, you should have this full view here. Okay, so what you see on my screen is what you should see if you are in the US. Now, they offer to Canada, Europe, and United Kingdom. Okay, so those 3 additional countries, yes, they're working on more to come, but there's a lot of hoops that they need to jump through. But those are the 3 additional on top of the US. You may have limited access, okay? So for example, you may only be able to bank transfer. You're not gonna have the option to use their virtual debit card. You may not be able to pay bills or even buy crypto, use their on-ramp feature. But the main thing for me, honestly, I use this for the bank transfer, okay? I do use the virtual debit card a lot, but if I didn't have the virtual debit card, I would just use the bank transfer. So there's that. Now, on top of the simpleness of this, the fee structure, very competitive. It's 1.95%. The second tier is 1.75%, and then the third tier is 1.5% on your transactions. If you're in the UK or Europe, I believe that's just a flat 1%, so it's even better. We'll go over that fee structure. Again, links will all be in the description as well that you can refer to. But fees are very competitive. Another thing is you can off-ramp your crypto to a bank account that is not tied to your ID here. Okay, so if you are familiar, or if you're not, let me explain to you. Centralized exchanges, from my experience, I can only off-ramp or even on ramp through a bank account that lines up with the exchange personal account information that I have set up. So if it's my personal name on the exchange, then I can only connect a bank account that has that name attached to it. So I can't send it to family or friends. Through Spritz Finance, you can. So it's very awesome. Very cool. All right, that they offer that. Like, for example, I sent my friend who lives in Canada some funds through this. Okay. So I love it. And it takes like 1 to 3 business days for the bank transfer to process. Debit card, it's pretty much instant for you to load up. But the bank transfer, my experience, I receive that off-ramping within 1 business day, but I believe it's 1 to 3. But let's go ahead and just talk about what we see here. Okay, so the simpleness of Spritz, you can send to other people like that alone, and the fee structure is competitive. You know, it's on par with these centralized exchanges. I have no need to use centralized exchanges anymore. Okay. And I mean, you can buy crypto here as well. I guess if like I needed to buy a specific coin, then that might be where I'll need to use an exchange that has that, because these guys are limited. It's only USDC on 3 networks if you want to on-ramp. But since I already have a lot of crypto circulating, I use that to my advantage. I don't really need to on-ramp. So if you guys are in a similar boat, then you know, it's awesome. I don't really need to use anything else. If you're if this is the beginning of your crypto journey, you can try this out and see if you can navigate how you want. You might need to use an exchange to on-ramp, but for off-ramping, you guys, this is the go-to. Okay, so we're on the pay bills section here, and if you've been staring at this whole time, you can find your bills or search for bills yourself. So you can pay bills directly through Spritz Finance, which is pretty cool. Personally, I haven't really used it just because if I need to pay for something bill wise, I'm going to send to my bank and my bank account is going to be tied to that bill, or I'm going to use my virtual card and then have that card number be attached and be the one to pay for that. But you can use this if you want. Again, it may be limited. If you don't see it on your end, most likely it's because the country you live in is not in the US. Now, that's the bill feature. Before I forget, let's talk about the networks that they offer. And okay, perfect. So everything's showing here. Tron is the last one that they accept. So Ethereum all the way down to Tron, you guys can look at the accepted networks. I mainly use the BNB chain because the fees are really cheap. So you're connecting your wallet and you're approving transactions and things like that. If you were to use Ethereum, the fees are just going to be more than what you would probably prefer. Okay, so so Tron's a cheaper network as well. BNB chain's even cheaper, so I like using them. I think Avalanche is even cheaper than BNB. I want to say maybe Polygon is on par with, just like being dirt cheap. But anyway, these are the networks. I use USDT mainly. I believe I can, as long as the coin or as long as your wallet has it on this network. So if I were to use USDC, that should show up available for me to use. But I mainly use USDT or USDC as stable coins. But if you have the native coin, you can also use that. Let me actually show you guys how that would kind of look. So if I click on the bank transfer here, I can see all my bank accounts I have connected, transactions that are in progress, those that are completed. If you don't have a bank account yet set up, then you would simply click add a bank account. And then you can add your own bank, or like I said earlier, pay to someone else's. Super awesome. I mean, they say here, pay directly to your friends, family, even your landlord, right? If you needed to send to their bank account specifically to pay for your rent or whatever, you can do it through here and they will receive it in 1 to 3 business days. My experience, usually 1 business day. So you guys can set this up and then start off ramping to it. And now to show you guys as an example here, so if I were to off ramp, I already have my wallet connected, okay, but let me disconnect it and then just show you what that looks like. All right, so if I haven't yet connected my wallet, I would click connect wallet. I use MetaMask, and so this is just a quick way for me to get connected there. If you have Coinbase wallet, or if you have any other wallet, then just choose wallet connect and then follow the instructions through your wallet, and then wallet connect on getting connected. But once your wallet is connected, generally what will happen is there'll be a pop-up on the I'll need to approve the transaction or the connection. But because I already connected with this like 30 minutes ago, I didn't need to approve that transaction again. But now my wallet is connected, and I can now off ramp. Okay, so I'm on the BNB chain. I can always very simply change to a different network, but my available balance, we can see for this specific wallet on this specific network, I have 43 worth in USD of BNB, and then USDT, I've got 17.5. Now, for the sake of just showing you guys example wise, I'll use the BNB. And if I wanted to off ramp 40 of that, then I can click on details. You'll get the breakdown. So I want to send or transfer 40, the minimum fee threshold that they have. So it looks like if they didn't have this minimum fee in place, the fees would have been even less. All right. So minimum fee, $2. I'm paying $42 to off ramp this. If you want to see their current fee structure, you can click on that question mark icon. And just so you're aware, this up to 100 monthly is no longer applicable. So they are moving away from this free amount. So it's just going to be these 3 tiers. And how this is going to work is monthly. Okay, so monthly, this will reset. But if you're doing up to 1,000 monthly, you're going to pay 1.95%. Now, if you go over that current tier, so let's say I withdraw 2,000 or off ramp 2,000, 1,000 of that will be 1.95%. The last 1,000 will be 1.75%. Okay, so they'll kind of prorate that remaining amount. And then if you go over 5,000, it's 1.5%. So if you are doing over 5,000 monthly, you're paying 1.5%, which is awesome. Very competitive, okay? Even the 1.95% is competitive compared to exchanges. So that's their fee structure. And once you start leaking into the next tier, then the difference will be paid with that new fee amount. Now, they also have, if it shows for you, in the US, I know it does. In the other countries, I'm sorry, I don't know if it shows or not, the fast delivery option. So I said standard 1 to 3 business days. But if you guys need this in like an hour or so, I can't remember the exact time. It might even be minutes. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a couple hours. Then they have a faster delivery option. It's just an additional 1%. Okay. All right. So how this would work is I choose the amount. I make sure that the total that I pay, I have enough to cover, and the gas fee to approve this transaction. So this doesn't show on the native coin, but if I were to choose USDT, another question you guys may have as well, if I'm connecting my wallet, how safe is that? And they have this feature here where you can set a custom allowance, okay? And you actually need to do this every single time. In order for you to, for example, in order for me to off-ramp 1750, I need to have probably like 20 USDT worth that I am allowing through this connection, okay? So right now I have this set as 24.9. So I can do the 1750. Okay, yeah, so we can do 1750. I think it might be $10 or 10 USDT, whatever, as the minimum. But if I wanted to do 1750, then I need to make sure that, okay, so I'm paying total 1950 and then the gas fee. So I usually set at like 5 USDT over. And so what will happen is this 24.9 that I set in here, and I can always raise it. You can always raise it more. So if you're doing 500, you can put in like 550 for your current allowance. But what will happen is the amount that is transferred out of here or that I pay will be deducted from the current allowance. So if I put 1,000 as my current allowance and then I off ramp 500, my current allowance will now be 500. Okay, so it's not just, oh, I can just do it in increments of 1,000 and they can just deplete my account that way. No, it's gonna deduct. Okay, so you'll have to come in here again, put a new balance, increase it, approve that transaction through your wallet, and then go from there. So it's pretty secure, my understanding at least. If for those of you who are kind of freaking out about, or just get a little bit antsy on that connection, but that's how it works. Very simple. And that's it for the bank transfer. Okay, so let's go to the virtual debit card. It's prepaid, a prepaid crypto debit card. Super awesome. I use this all the time, especially for online. Well, I mean, you can only use it for online purchases, but you can also set it up to your Apple Wallet or to your Google Wallet. So if you have a grocery store that their payment processor terminal offers tap, okay, so you can tap with your smartwatch or your phone. You can connect this card to that and pay for it that way. I've done it multiple times. Now, you cannot use this at an ATM where you can tap the card to withdraw cash. That will not work, okay? I've already tried it, but you can use it for any online purchases, online bills, tap features in the flesh, right? If you're out shopping and they offer that tap feature. I think I've only had it like one time where it didn't work, and I don't know, with terminals for prepaid cards or something, if you're tapping, if it wigs out, but majority of the time this works. Okay, so that's the virtual card. You will add funds to this, very similar to the way that you off ramp to a bank. So scrolling down here a bit, you just click fund with crypto, make sure that your wallet's connected, make sure that you have enough gas fees and all of that, set a custom allowance if you're using a stable coin, and then boom, this loads up. I will say within 30 minutes, you should be able to have access and it will load up. If anything, same day, but I don't think it takes a full day for this to update with the amount that you can use. It's pretty quick from my experience. Okay, last feature, on ramp. Okay, so you can buy crypto through these guys. And again, if this doesn't show for you, then that might be because of the country that you live in. But unless they change this, and I haven't used this myself, but when they first launched this, there was a 10,000 per transaction limit. So if you wanted to do 50,000 per, total for your purchase, you'll just need to do it 5 times. But these are so it's only USDC on these 3 networks. So not a lot of options, but if this is what you need, or if you have a way to easily swap this, then you can purchase that. They have the ACH if you want to send from your bank, or if you want to do a wire transfer, it's even faster, but there's a $20 extra charge on that. I haven't used this myself. I'm good crypto-wise, circulating, that I can navigate easily, but if you need to get in the space, this is what they offer in there. If you're in the US and you have this feature available, you can try that out. And I've actually never looked at this address book. Okay, this is actually very, very cool. I never looked into this. The address book is a permanent wallet address that you can send to. Now, tokens are limited on what you can send. You can even see here, currently they only support USDC for payments, but you guys can click on the how does this work. There's a little link right behind my mouse. But let's kind of go through this together. So address book feature gives each one of your Spritz accounts its own address on the blockchain. So that means you can issue payments to your accounts simply by sending funds to the address associated with that account. They only support USDC for payments, but more tokens coming soon, which I think they even have now. So I was checking and they have other tokens. So I'll show you guys. So why would you use this instead of needing to connect a wallet? Okay, so here's the thing. I was like, oh shoot, this is pretty good. If you don't want to connect your wallet or can't, so for me, my MetaMask, then what you can do is you could, like, for example, if you needed to send something from an exchange or a wallet, that they do not want to connect to any dApps, right, which is just your wallet connection, then you can use this and send to your wallet address that they provided directly. So for the fees, we simply deduct the fee from whatever amount you send. So if I send 1,000, they give the example here. So if you send 1,000 USDC to your payment address and incur a $15 fee, that 15 will be deducted. You'll get $9.85 sent to your account. Very cool. I did not know about this, and it actually makes it even more simple. All right. I said this at the very beginning. I love Spritz for its simpleness, and this now makes it even more simple, right? You've got a permanent wallet address. Let's take a look. Okay, so I was looking at this. So accepted tokens on the BNB chain. So here's what they have, okay? They've got all of these. I use BNB chain. So if I were to choose BNB chain, which I already have chosen, I can use USDC, USDT, and BUSD. So I can send these coins on the BNB chain. And so for example, maybe I'll try this after this video. But if I wanted to send, let's say 100 USDT worth to my virtual card, my Spritz card, all I need to do is send it to this address, and then they will deduct the fee from whatever I send. Man, that's really good. That is insane. That's really cool. Okay. This would work similar. Let me just check here. I think for bank accounts too. Yeah, so one of the bank accounts that I have set up, I guess I'll need to try this as well. If I wanted to just off-ramp to my bank account instead of connecting, approving transactions, I can just send to my payment address here for this specific bank account. So here's the thing. It's not the same wallet address for everything. So for example, if you're using the BNB chain, it's not the same wallet address for all of your account, like your bank accounts, your virtual card. It looks like everything has its own separate, and that's how they're able to differentiate, make sure it goes into the right bank account, the right card. This is awesome. Very awesome. Very cool. Very simple. And so it looks like USDC, USDT, BUSD. At least on the BNB chain, you guys can play around with the other networks if you like using the other ones. But I am going to try this out and see if I'll send like $50 or something to my bank, $50 to my virtual card, just by directly sending this address here. See if that works. That's awesome. Okay, we're wrapping this video up, but before I forget, this is the updated article on Spritz transaction fees. Okay, I'll leave this in the description. You guys can view it, but they are extending their USDC holiday pricing little promotion. They're extending that only for those in the US, and it has to be a bank transfer. So just read the information here if you are wanting to take part. Here are the networks that are offered. But then the fees, if you're doing under 20,000, cheap, even under 100,000, cheaper than the current base. So that's something that's currently extended. There's a minimum of $2. There may be an addition. So there's an additional 0.5% for bill pay and virtual card payments in USDC on the mentioned chains. And then choosing rapid pay. If you're doing, this is just for the promo, okay? So if you're doing rapid pay, there's still that 1% charge. And then let's see. So the minimums here, I mean, it's just a couple bucks. I don't really care about that. We've already gone over the fee calculations, so that didn't really change. But again, if you want to refer to something, you guys will have this article link. Here's the cool thing, flat rate of 1% for those in Europe and United Kingdom. No monthly volume calculation, $2 fee minimum still applies. And then the rapid pay, I think, is just for the US. Okay, I don't see them saying another country, but if you see it on your end, great. You might be able to do something. I would assume not, because these guys are based in the US, and I imagine their all their banking system and everything is in the US, and if you do something internationally, transfer wise, it takes a little bit longer. So that makes sense. But hey, look, you guys got a flat rate of 1% for those in Europe and UK. So that beats ours. So there you guys have it for the fees. The last thing I will talk about is reporting. All right. These guys do not currently report to any tax systems. If you're in the US, that would be the IRS, Canada, Europe, UK, I have no idea what you guys have, but they currently do not do any reporting. So that's on you to, however you have things set up, however you navigate in the tax world, that's on you, okay? Now, if something were to change where they now need to report taxes, they'll let us know, at least what I've been told. I'm in contact with the CEO. I have another group with some of the support members if I ever need something looked into more. But that's what they told me. And man, that's it. I'm still boggled by that address book feature that caught me by surprise. This is actually my second take, because the first take I did of this, my mic volume was muted. So I had to redo the whole thing. And I didn't cover that in the first one. So I'm glad this happened so I could see the address book and let you guys know that we can start sending directly to these accounts just through a wallet address. And that makes it even more simple. Holy cow. All right. So pros, let's just recap. Very simple, light KYC, fees are competitive. Very, very simple. Again, I feel like that's, so I mean, the ability to use their virtual card, bank transfer to others is another thing. And then I think that might be it. Oh, you can on-ramp as well. The cons is it's not fully global, okay? So if you're not in one of the 4 countries that I mentioned, unfortunately, you cannot yet use this. So that is a negative to this. Maybe you have an exchange that has even cheaper fees, so that might be something. Their on-ramp feature isn't the best, I believe, when it comes to how much you can come in with, the availability for the coins that you can buy, but it's still something. But you know, you will be able to get more through a normal exchange. Okay, so if you need another coin, I'm trying to think if there's any other negative to this. I don't think so. That's kind of what I've ran into. Everything else has been awesome. Been with them for a year, and they've added quite a bit from my very first review of these guys. So very pleased. If you haven't yet signed up, again, my link's in the description. I would appreciate if you guys use that. And if you want to reach out to me, my Telegram handle will be in the description as well. If you have any questions, I'll work to include an updated guide on navigating through all this stuff, just because it has changed a little bit. And the fee structure article link. So if you want to refer to that, I'll include that in the description. Okay. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully this gives you a nice pathway on navigating from fiat to crypto or crypto to fiat. Okay. It's a good one. Thank you guys. I will catch you later.